Hi everybody, welcome to another Taubmans live colour event. My name is Fiona. I'm the Taubmans colour specialist and we are here again tonight to answer all of your colour questions. So this is an opportunity for you to have a voice and we suggest that while we're on screen for the next half an hour streaming that you upload any questions into the feed that you may have in regards to anything to do with colour, any projects that you're embarking on, and also if you want to know anything about our wonderful portfolio of products that we have to help you assist and create that wonderful space. So tonight's all about interiors and we're going to touch on interior colours, but that doesn't mean that you can't ask any other questions. And also the other thing that I have since learnt is if you're wanting to upload any photos of anything that you'd like some assistance with, if you just wait until we finish streaming, so at about 7:30 when we're no longer on air and we're sort of behind the scenes answering any questions that we don't get a chance to answer while we're on screen, I'll certainly look at all of your photos and then offer you some advice. So if you can hold off until then, that would be fantastic. So this week I've spent quite a lot of time out and about assisting people with their colours. And I've done quite a few colour consultancies and you know there's a common theme, so I thought I'm going to bring that common theme to life tonight. And so you know there's one question that never fails to get raised when we start talking about colour, and that's what's on trend. And then the next question that sort of follows that is I really don't know, it's probably more of a phrase, but it's I don't know where to start, you know, and where do I start? You know, there's so many colours and look, it can be quite daunting, confronting, confusing, and something that, you know, I find is a joyous experience, if you like, is not necessarily fantastic for everybody. So again, these sessions are designed to help you with all things colour and to, you know, help you with your colour conundrums. So back to, you know, what's on trend. So I thought, look, this is a really opportune time again to bring to life our 2021 to 2022 colour forecast. And so I wanted to take you through that, but then what I've also done is I have drawn up an interior, so it'll be the same space, but I have, with my computer program, I've used the RGBs from the colour and popped them into the space so that you can actually see, or to give you a visual of what the colour can look like within a space. So tonight's really about, I guess you could say, you know, I talk a lot about whites and using, you know, like last week I sort of brought to life again, you know, I was asked a question, I've just got to backtrack to last week now. The question was, you know, if I've got a small space, how can I make it look larger? And my answer to that, or one of the answers to that is, you know, use the one colour sort of on all areas in the space. So, you know, the ceiling, the walls, the doors and trims, but obviously using the applicable paints and the applicable sheens that go with that. But I really want to bring, you know, to the forefront how wonderful it is to use colour within a space. And I guess these are really about giving you confidence with colour and showing you what you can do with colour. And we want you to open your mind to, you know, popping a lot of colour into a space. Now I know that I have another consultancy on Saturday and there's been some pre-work done by my lovely clients and they've sent through images, etc., and they've sent through, if you like, we've talked about mood boards before, they've sent through sort of a mood board on the colours that they're thinking, and I looked and I thought, you know, this is fantastic. They want to commit to using some beautiful colours within their space. So this is what tonight's about. It's about opening your mind, showing you when you are about to embark on a colour journey where you can start. So I will direct you in a moment to our Taubmans website, and then showing you you know, our colour forecast, what's on trend, and then superimposing it into an interior so that you can see how it looks. But also, I'm also going to take you through, as I generally do, Colorsmith, because the other thing to consider is if you are embarking on renovating a space and you're about to embark on that colour journey and you're like, oh, I'm not sure where to start, and you want to also see what's on trend, go and visit your local homeware store and you'll see that, you know, they create different spaces and they have different colours on walls, lots of different accessories, and you can sort of get a feel for what's sort of happening out there in the design space and, you know, the on-trend world, if you like. And you can grab yourself, like I did, you can grab yourself a particular item that, you know, you gravitate towards with colour, and the beauty of Colorsmith is that you can create your own colour. So I'm also going to take you through that as well. So we're going to start, we're going to go to our Taubmans web. So I'm going to hop off the screen and pop you onto my laptop, and I'll pop myself up into the corner there. So if you're wondering where to start, go and visit taubmans.com.au and you'll be brought to a page basically that looks like this on your screen. So this is a starting point, and this will give you lots of inspiration. So you can certainly view, as we did, I took you through a little bit of it last week, you can view all the products. It takes you through by area, if you like, whether you're doing interior, exterior, doors and trim. So that's a really good starting point, as well as once you've selected your colour, to have a look through and have a look at the products that you can use to create this space we're talking about. So we go to colours. Now here it says 2021 colour trends. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to take me to Taubmans Chromatic Joy. Now this is an amazing interactive space, and I suggest, you know, if you are at home now tuning in, watching this, hop on there and have a look as well. It is amazing. So I'm just going to scroll down because I really want, I think it's really worth, and I'm not going to read this word for word now by any means, but it's really worth, you know, when you visit this site, having a read and learning about how all of these colours came to be, if you like. And look, there's no secret there, you know, COVID changed the way we were thinking about creating, if you like, our colour forecast, and you can read all about it here. And what I really love about this is the fact that the colours in here were all created with, here we go, you can probably see up in the top corner, the Colorsmith Reader. So it's amazing. So they are just the most beautiful, beautiful colours. And there is a particular, I'm just going to get this up here. I'm sorry, I'm reading a question, first question that's come through. There is something here that I think is just wonderful, and I'm just going to, so here it says it here, chromatic joy is the delight we take in colour consciously or subconsciously. And it's so true. It is, oh, that just resonates with me. So I suggest, you know, I recommend everybody comes over here and has a look and have a read of it, because if you connect with colour like I do, it's going to have a lot of meaning when you go through this. And it's all been, you know, Rachel Lacey, our chief colorsmith from Taubmans PPG Australia, is, if you like, the brains behind this. So it is fantastic. So what I'm going to do now is I'll go back up, and I'm going to use the drop down menu, and I want to view the colours. It's just taking a moment. I'm going to, I won't go pattern, I'm going to go solid so that we can actually see as we go through. Look, the colours here are just amazing. Like these two particular colours I really gravitate towards, I think, for an interior space, and you'll see that I have actually popped those into the drawings in a moment. But if you keep going on down, Daybreak. Daybreak's another colour that I've used as well. Stunning. Maker's beautiful, and so is this Talk of Gold, and I've used those within the colour, the spaces that I'm going to show you in a moment, because it's just a beautiful, beautiful way of, you know, looking for colour and gaining some inspiration. And if you click on a colour here, as I will here, you can share the colour, purchase a sample pot, order this colour in store. So it will populate, because when we talk about using Colorsmith, the beauty of Colorsmith, when you create your own colours, it populates a unique QR code, and that QR code is what you take into your local paint store. They scan it and then they create the paint. If you're after a sample pot, they usually pop it into something like that. So here is where I would suggest you start to get a feel for what's happening out there within the design space, if you like, what the trends are, etc. This is a really, really, I guess, important starting point as you go on your colour journey. So I recommend you go and have a look at that. The other thing, of course, again, is Taubmans paint colours. You can click on the paint colours, and as I have shown you before, but for those that might be tuning in for the first time tonight, they make it so easy. So the colours are grouped by family, if you like, or category. So you've got your whites and neutrals, your greys and blacks, your browns and blacks, yellow, etc., etc. Colour bond. And what I really love about this is, let's just click on our whites and neutrals. what it does is, so if again you're really not sure of where to start or what's popular, etc., it's giving you here like our popular whites and neutral colours. So for example, Stormy Shadow, Thin Ice, Crisp White, Cotton Sheets, Mystery. So that's a really good starting point. And then as you make your way down, it's just beautiful. You can see all of the colours there. So it makes it really easy when you're starting to shop for colour. And another really fantastic thing that you can do here as you peruse the colours, you know, I'll click on one of my favourites, which is Alpine Snow. You can go through all of it gives you images here to show you sort of in different lights, etc., how the colour could potentially look. But I'll click on the last tile there, which is just the solid colour. But what I can do is this little heart here, and I've heart reacted it, and what it does is it saves here as my favourite. So when I come to the end of my colour journey, if you like, I can go back there and revisit all of the colours that I have saved to work out whether I want to order a sample pot, take it in store, etc., etc. So really good starting point for everybody out there who, you know, everybody who's about to embark on a colour journey as such. So what I'm going to do, all right, well, I've got my first question. So what I might do is I might answer the first question and then we'll come back to this. So I'll come back on the screen. Okay. Hi, Kathy. Thank you very much for joining our session tonight. So your question is, I have recently acquired a sample pot of Snowdrop for exterior, but it just looks white outside. Should the colour have an underlying colour, and how does Alpine Snow compare to this colour? So Snowdrop is a very light white, and I guess what we need to be really understanding is that when we start to put colour in an exterior environment, they tend to dilute out, or I like to use the term bleach out. So, I mean, the colour itself, you know, your paint's not changing. It's a term I use because when you've got direct sunlight onto a colour, the colour will become, as I said, bleached out. So you really need to ensure that when you are embarking on that exterior colour journey and we're looking to use whites, that your whites have a little bit of substance. So my advice is when you go to the colour wall, have a look, grab yourself what's called a brilliant white colour chip. Now, if you put your colours up against the brilliant white colour chip, you're going to see how much intensity the colour has, because brilliant white is what I like to say, it's pretty much the stock standard white that is in the can without any, you know, without any tint, if you like, to create these colours that we are talking about. So it gives you a great backdrop to see what is in the actual colour itself. So you really want to ensure that you've got colour that has a little bit of intensity. Alpine Snow, as you can see, we had it up on the screen a moment ago, and I'll go back to that screenshot here. Let's just go back to that. All right, back to the corner. So there's our Alpine Snow. Now, when you're looking at it on the screen and you're looking at it, against that white backdrop, it looks like it has a lot of tint, but the minute you put it outside, it dilutes right down. So my advice is, if you're looking for a white, look at something like, to start off with, South Pole. I know one of the most popular whites for exteriors are Colorbond Surf Mist. And, you know, if you put them up against the brilliant white colour chip, you'll go, oh my goodness, it looks like it's got quite a lot of tint. But the minute you put it outside and you've got direct sun on it, it does dilute down. And the next tip, or the best tip that I can give you, is to get yourself a large piece of cardboard. Now, you're looking at having at least 1 metre by 1 metre square. Brush out 3 coats of your colour onto that piece of cardboard and move it around outside, around the dwelling, different times of day, different areas, you know, areas where you're getting full sun, areas where you're not getting as much sun, etc., to see how the colour's going to work for you. What's really, really important is that, I've just lost my train of thought here. What is really important is that you want to see how the colour works within the environment, and the last thing that you want to do is have to walk outside and put your sunglasses on to sit outside and have a cup of tea, because the sun hitting your white is too bright and you're getting too much glare. So I always recommend, you know, especially when we're talking about whites and even when we're talking about soft greys, getting that sample pot to ensure that there is enough colour intensity within your white or your very soft grey to ensure that you're not going to have that glare. So that's the best tip that I can give you to start off with. Now, I will come back to the questions in a moment, but while I'm here, I just quickly want to show you the colours that I have been talking about. So we'll go back to me for a moment. I'll just change my screen because I think I really want to show you this. So we'll go back to being on screen. I'm in the corner again. So talking about colours that are on trend, and as I said earlier on when we first appeared tonight, it's all about having confidence in colour, and we really want you to feel that, you know, you can choose a beautiful colour that means something to you and use it on your walls and use it with confidence. So here I have, it's the same space that I've drawn up and replicated, but I'm using some of the on-trend colours and some of the colours that are coming out of our Chromatic Joy colour forecast. So you can see here, as I pointed out before, the first green and the first blue I am showing you here. This is, and then we're going into the next tone here, and look, they just look fantastic. They're giving the space life. I think it's beautiful. It can be quite dramatic, but it works really, really well. And then if we move over to the next space here, which is the colour called Daybreak, and I'll pop all of the colours that we have in here into the feed tonight, and I'll share the links from Chromatic Joy so that you can actually view them. This is the colour called Daybreak, and I think it is absolutely stunning. And I know from the angle and looking on a computer screen, it's definitely not the same as looking at real paint deposited colour, but this is definitely a colour well worth grabbing a sample pot. Actually, so are all the colours in a forecast, but I gravitate towards this. I think it's beautiful. Now the next one, I love this, and I'll be honest, I'm not generally a lover of, you know, I shouldn't say I'm not a lover, I just don't personally gravitate towards sort of gold tones. You know, if you've been watching these, you'll know that I do gravitate towards green sort of tones. But this to me, I think, is just beautiful. What a happy, joyous space. You know, it's a fantastic space to sit, relax, have breakfast, entertain, etc. And it's all about the colour that has created this. So as I said, I will pop all of the colours that I have popped into these spaces tonight in the feed. I'll quickly just go back. Look at that. I think it is beautiful. So is that. It's just, and then obviously going into a green, because as we all know, I gravitate towards green, but I just think that is beautiful. And that just shows you how you can really successfully use colour within a space, own it, and there's that word again, have confidence to use it. So I'll come back to the screen, and now I'll answer some questions. It looks like I may have a few here, and then I want to quickly show you how you can create your own colour. All right, just bear with me while I get my screen up. Okay. All right. Hi, Prue. Thank you very much for your question. Sorry, as I was just filtering through some questions there. Okay, Prue has asked the question, do you think painting the exterior of a house in sparkling mint with Miss Universe trims will clash with Colorbond wind spray roof and gutters? I don't know if it will be too green. Okay, let me just see if I can find the colour sparkling mint, so just bear with me a moment. I guess the other question, let me just see, I think there was something... Okay, sorry, there's a little bit more information because I was just going to ask you a little bit more. So thank you. You've read my mind. So excuse me. Okay, you have asked, or you've stated that I'm looking for the best mint green to paint the exterior of a house to have that modern beach shack look. This is a brand new house built, wind spray roof. Okay. So Prue, are you near... Can I ask, are you in a coastal environment? What sort of surrounding you? I know that you're wanting that modern beach shack look, but where is the house situated? Do you get a lot of natural sun, etc.? I'm just asking these questions so that I can get that right tone of mint for you. Obviously, there's mint green. There's some that are a lot brighter. And I'm thinking that if you've got a wind spray roof, perhaps that we're going to use something that might just be a little bit more muted, or as I like to say, it might have a little bit more of a splash of black in it. So if you can come back to me with that, I will be more than happy to give you some recommendations. If I don't do it on screen, I'll certainly do it once we finish streaming in about 10 minutes. Okay, Lauren, thank you very much for your question. You're saying, can we talk about colour with wood floors, please? We certainly can. Okay, so I guess there's one thing, and I've talked about this quite a bit. When we start talking about if we're talking about whites, for example, and you've got wooden floors, and then you get a lot of natural sunlight coming down onto the wood, projecting onto the walls. Sometimes the whites can tend to, if you like, warm up as such. So take on a little bit, can have the reflection from the floors coming onto the wall. So it can change the look of your colour. So I guess, Lauren, what are you thinking? Like, are you wanting to use, if you're wanting me to, is there a particular question that you have? A little bit more information? Are you wanting to look at some whites? Are you wanting to inject some colour? Are you wanting some colours that go with wooden floors? So if you come back to me with a little bit more information, and also too, with the wood, do you have a light coloured wood? Are we talking more of a dark coloured wood, stained wood, etc.? Is it a bleached out sort of whitewashed wood? Because all of those obviously are going to determine sort of what tones of colours I can help recommend for you. So if you come back to me, I'll be more than happy to help you with that. Thank you. Okay, hi Julianne, thank you very much for joining our session tonight. So what warm colour suits a dominant black and white kitchen with light Taubmans grey through the whole house and medium dark grey carpets too? So what warm colour suits a dominant black and white kitchen with light grey? Okay, so if you've got, so what are you, when you say a warm colour, because immediately when I'm thinking about a black and white kitchen and then you have grey throughout, you know, I'm thinking of something like a beautiful terracotta or even a burnt sort of orange. That's the first thing that comes to mind, being a beautiful warm colour, and I know how well they work with you know, tones of grey, etc. But can you just give me a little bit more information of where you're wanting to place this colour? So then I can help determine, you know, whether you want to go really bold, whether it's a little bit more muted, etc. And, you know, whereabouts we're going to be using this colour within the space. So just give me a little bit more information. I'll be more than happy to come back and answer your question for you. So very quickly, I do want to show you, because as I was saying about colour trends, and you know, you're not quite sure where to start your colour journey, and I always recommend that not only if you are, sorry, I'm looking at questions as well, not only if you're looking at painting, it's a really good opportunity to go out and find something that appeals to you, because sometimes within a space, I love to talk about having a hero in a space. I also love to talk about, if you're creating that perfect space for your interior, there's the basic principles of design and things like repetition. So, you know, having articles, etc., items within that space that have the same colour, strategically placed within that room, so to speak, so that when your eye casts around the room, it's sort of going, oh yeah, there's a little splash of, say, pink there and there and there, and it creates that beautiful cohesive design space. And that's what we're all about. You know, everyone wants to walk into a room and go, it's beautiful, and it feels right, has the right level of colour, you know, it's connected. And so I think that it's really, really important. Go out and find something that means something, or if you've got something that means something to you and you want to build a room around that. So I went to one of my favourite homeware shops, and I found a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sort of a dusty pink cushion that's going to sit on my bed. Now, I want to show you the beauty of Colorsmith, because we've talked tonight about chromatic joy and how those beautiful, beautiful colours, you know, there's the colour forecast, etc., have been created with the Colorsmith Reader. And I thought, you know, this is an opportune time to show you very quickly how easy it is to create your own colours using that. So right here in front of me, I have, as we can see, the Colorsmith Reader. We'll take the lid off, and right in the center of that, oops, help if I put it, yep, you can see that there. It has, it creates colors by an LED light source. So you can scan an item and it will create a color for you. It's amazing. So the first thing that you need to do, and I'm going to go to my iPad here, I'll put myself back up in the corner, is you can see up in that top corner, there's an app there with the C, which is our Colorsmith by Taubmans app that you can download from the App Store or Google Play, depending on your smartphone or your smart device that you have. So I'm now going to open up the app. It's happening. And now you've got Create from Match or Create from Color Library. Now, Create from Color Library, the fantastic thing there is it is pre-populated with a world of colors, so you can start again your color journey looking for colors there. They are again categorized by, you know, blue, black, so they're in groups. Click on it and you can go through, and there are many colors. But for tonight, we're actually going to create from match. Now, this little device here relies on Bluetooth, so I've clicked to the bottom, and as you can see there, it is flashing. It's flashing blue. So I hit Create from Match, and then I go to where it says Colorsmith, and it's connecting this device. Oops, there we go. Connect to the black Colorsmith Reader. Why are we not connecting? Beautiful, here we go. Done, I'm connected. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Create from Match. Now you can see there it is on the screen telling me that I need to put it onto an item or whatever I'm wanting to scan. So I'm going to pop it up on here. Let's hope it stays there. And then I'm going to hit Match. Look at that. How easy is that? So what it has done, it has given me what they call a 5-star match. So this is the best match possible that I can, or the best match that I can possibly get for my color. So then I hit select, and then I hit save my color, and then manage. Now the beauty of this is that you have the ability to name your color whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to call it, oops, Dusty Pink. Beautiful. Now, what I really love about this, so where it says order in store, this is where it populates a QR code. So that QR code, I can go down to my local Bunnings, I can go to my local Taubmans Trade Centre, Bristol store, etc. Take that in, scan it, and then they create my paint colour for me. It is that easy. And then where it says share, you can see the share icon there. I can share that across all of my social media platforms, airdrop, text, etc., etc. But there's one other thing that I just want to show you. You can see here next to manage my color, it says combinations. It brings up a color palette of colors that are designed to work with the color that you've created. So one of the big things I find is that when you select a color that, you know, you're standing perhaps at a color wall, you're deliberating over, you know, what color is going to work with that, etc., etc. It can be quite daunting, and you know, you're standing there and you're looking at the color chips. This does it for you. So it brings you up a whole color palette. You can select from there, again, save your color, name your color, populates that QR code, take it into your local paint store, have it scanned, and create your color. So it is an amazing tool. So I just wanted to show you how easy that is and how wonderful it is to create your own colors. So as I said before, I'll come back to the screen now. If you just go to, and it's not just go, if you go to you know, Google Play or the App Store, download the Colorsmith app and create colors. It is so simple. I've shown you before, and I'll show you as we go along through the rest of these for the rest of the year. I'll show you how you can create a color from a photograph. They also have in store these little amazing cards here. So it looks like that. And you can see on the front it's got little black dots. So it's what they call a Colorsmith window calibration card. So, you know, I could have used that to create my colour with this as well. And what it does is the little black dots there help to determine whether you've got a glossy surface, etc., etc. And pretty much these calibrate your phone camera for the best colour experience, the best colour match that it can produce. So it is an amazing, amazing way, and it really is revolutionising the colour world. So I would suggest for everybody out there that is needing help with colour to visit the App Store, download the Colorsmith app and have a play, because it is amazing. And as I said, there is a library there already of colours that you can actually choose and create with. So that pretty much concludes tonight. I do have a lot of questions there, so I will get to those in a moment. But once we stop streaming in a moment, don't forget, if you do have any images that you're wanting help with, once I'm off, that's certainly the time to upload all your photos. Do come back, join us again next week for another session. We'll be talking about exteriors, and if there's anything at all that you'd really like assistance with, or you'd really like to know about, certainly use the feed, because we're more than happy to help bring some of your questions to life as we do these sessions. But as I always say, stay safe out there, everybody. Have a fantastic week. Look forward to seeing you again next week. And as always, happy painting. See you later. Bye.